Oh. Oh. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om everybody. Welcome back to today's Saturday class with Swamiji on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are continuing with chapter 10. So Mona, if you are all set, we can start today's session.
Yes, Priya.
ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ समस्तगुरुपरम्परायै समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। Hari Om. So in the last class, in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan has been emphasizing again and again that I have my yoga sthiti and vibhuti, and everything is emerged from me, exists in me, and merges in me. And then iti matva bhajante, and then those people, bhava samanvitaha buddhaha, wise people with all their love, knowing me, the origin of the entire universe, they worship me with a great love, bhava samanvitaha. And how do they? Machitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam. They fix their minds in me, and all their activities are dedicated to discover me in tune for me, and they speak among themselves about this only, and thus they ravanti tushyanti cha, they revel, they feel contented, satisfied only in talking about me. That's how we saw in the last verse. And then again we also saw that tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam. To all those great people, worshippers, those who have been worshipping me with great love and devotion, what do I give? Buddhi yogam. I give them buddhi. Yena ma upayanti te. When I give buddhi to them, then they can, with the raft of knowledge and the buddhi, discrimination, when that they get, with that discrimination, they can easily find me without any difficulty. They reach me. So what is the required, the instrument for us to know Paramatma? Buddhi. Buddhi. Tikshna buddhi, subtle buddhi. Therefore, buddhau sharanam anvicha sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi says, the truth is known only by the people who have developed this very, very deep and subtle discrimination to discover the presence in us, which is always there, but always clouded by our emotions and thoughts, etc. Thoughts and the desires and so many varieties of thoughts, mind and intellect and ajnana vidya. But it is always there sparkling, and that is me. So to focus on that by discriminating between essential and non-essentials and sat and asat, etc., real and unreal, it is not easy. We need a very, very subtle intellect for this. Very, very subtle and very fine, refined buddhi is required for this. Very refined buddhi. So Bhagavan says, when you worship me, I'll give you buddhi. With that, you can reach me easily. So through that buddhi yoga, then what is that again? Bhagavan says is giving extra thought. Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastaha jnanadipena bhaswata Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tapaha Nashayamyatma bhavastaha jnanadipena bhaswata. Beautiful thing. Tesham eva anukampartham. Anukampartham. Mere compassion. Anukampa. Those who are really loving me, I give them buddhi. And then when they start pursuing me, my compassion also adds to their pursuit. So out of mere compassion for them, tesham eva anukampartham, what I do? Agniyanajam tamaha aham nashayami. The ajnana, ignorance, ja born out of, the darkness born out of avidya. Meaning non-clarity, born out of avidya. The darkness which is born out of ignorance. Nashayami, I will destroy. I will destroy, Bhagavan said very clearly. I will destroy. Our job is to pursue. And Bhagavan has his own techniques. Because for each one of us, each individual is stuck up in a unique way in his or her own conditions. I would say as many jivas, so many diseases. Each disease is unique. I am caught up in somewhere. Each one of you are caught up in somewhere. So our job is to love him, worship him. Then Bhagavan gives us buddhi. And with that buddhi, again, we continue to worship him, contemplate upon him, love him, serve him. And then we attract his compassion, attention, because love overpowers. That love overpowers. Guru's love overpowers for the sake of disciple and devotee. If the devotee is so sincere and loving and dedicated and innocent and totally surrendered, that Guru's compassion flows from the heart of the Guru. Well, you deserve it. So, beautifully he says that aham nashayami. What is that? How do you? By I will bring the light of knowledge by bringing jnana deepena anashayami atma bhavastaha, dwelling within one's own atma bhavastaha, the ignorance which is deeply rooted in one's own self regarding one's own self, atma bhavastaha. Atma means heart, mind and heart. So this ignorance which is deeply rooted in one's own heart is destroyed. By whom? Jnana Deepena. By what? Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. I just simply light the lamp of knowledge in the heart of such a devotee. It is the Guru who does it. Or Paramatma does it in the form of Guru. Or the Lord says, I will do it. I'll bring that lamp of knowledge and light in your antakarana, so that in that light, immediately, instantly, you can see what is the truth. So here, beautifully, Gurudev gives one or two examples also. Like somebody has lost the key. You search for the key, but then you cannot. Then because of darkness in the room. Then somebody switches on the light. Then you can see the key very clearly, which is on the table, but you can find out because of darkness. When we cannot say light created the key. Similarly, Jnanam doesn't create the Atman. Atman is always available, but Jnana simply destroys the darkness. But that Jnana Deepam has to be lit. So in deep meditations, when we continue, and Gurudev beautifully examples are given, that earlier, I'm just reading one sentence of Gurudev, which is important. Earlier, because this is very mystical. Mystical means very deep sentence it is. Very, very deep thought. Earlier, we mentioned that the Buddhi Yoga amounts to the Samadhi experience. Buddhi Yoga is such a subtle Buddhi. We are able to grasp the essence. Like, it is licking when tasting the chocolate, and the chocolate rasa is slowly oozing out of the little pores of the wrapper. Such a wrapper it is. That's all that chocolate is oozing out. So that's what it says, Gurudev says, amounts to Samadhi experience, Buddhi Yoga, even though there is yet a thin film of egocentric experience of bliss. A thin film is there. So through the thin film, I'm able to get that, little bliss of that. And then that little means there's very Samadhi experience, but not completely full. That is a state. In this stanza, we have a description of how from the Savikalpa, the seeker is transported, very important statement, transported all unaware, as though by the intervention of a divine grace. So from Savikalpa Samadhi, I've been worshipping the Lord, then Savikalpa Samadhi to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and Samadhi experience, and then through that intervention of divine grace into the consummate Nirvikalpa experience of the infinite. This is Pakka Gurudev's Anubhav only is Gurudev speaking, nothing else, nothing sort of that. Puja Gurudev is giving us only his Anubhav. So when that is the, what you call, experience comes there. Samadhi experience. In fact, upon the Savikalpa alone is the realm of conscious self-effort, and even the Buddhi Yoga comes from above. In Savikalpa only, our conscious effort and bright kind of Buddhi, subtle Buddhi, the flashes of illumination, or the great deeper insights come from above, from subtle, by the grace of the Lord or Guru. The deeper insight, the techniques of meditation, the deeper ability to perceive the peace within, which is radiating in our heart, already they're existing. So, very beautiful thing, and even the Buddhi Yoga comes from above, meaning it comes not as a result of any deliberate action. Please remember this. Buddhi Yoga, Bhagavan says, Dadami. That's what great Shastras, Mahatmas speak. When Bhagavan said, Dadami, Dadami means I will give you that Buddhi Yoga. You cannot create it on your own self by reading books. We think that logic and reasoning and questioning is intellect, sharp intellect. That is not sharpness. In fact, the worldly vyavahar mein, any sharp weapon or sharp object cuts. It harms us. That kind of a sharpness doesn't mean cutting and harming everything with which it comes in contact. That is not the sharpness. We come across many times hands are cut and legs are cut because of some sharp things there. They are there. Even a small wood piece, wood is there, a small wood streak come out of it, and then that is sharp, and that is enough to pierce and give us pain. So this worldly parlance, the sharpness of buddhi is only an external oriented. It has its own limitations, and that sharpness of buddhi results into envy, comparison, and depression sometimes, because this time I'm not sharp, last time I could achieve, people praised me. So much of complication which I don't want to enter into. So here very beautifully Bhagavan says that Gurudev says it comes not as a result of any deliberate action, but is an automatic partial revelation in inverted commas. Partial revelation when the density of the mist between the ego and the self is thinned out. Partial revelation. Because clear experience of Puja Gurudev, between Ahankara and the self, that mist is there. The mist, the ego, between the ego and the self, the mist ego is thinned out because of the mist is gone. And also ego and self comes to closer. Ego means ego cannot reach there. Idea is the entire mist is selfishness, greed, and then all those things are removed out. And as though ego is there, but ego is almost purified ego, purified sense of I. Not completely dissolved, but Antakarana becomes so pure. So the gap between the self and that keeps on reducing. And that time what happens, even though there's a thin veil of Ahankara, I am able to sense that divine presence everywhere because of the grace of the Lord, because of the buddhi which is revealed to me, buddhi yoga, the subtle meaning, buddhi yoga, which is coming from above. So the final phase experienced when the mist of ignorance is completely lifted is self-revelation, which comes in its own light. A beautiful paragraph. So in the beginning, so we are actually by divine intervention, a partial revelation takes place first. And once I tell you, once this partial revelation is, takes place, the divinity, thereafter the seeker is no more interested. So far, he is turning his mind and intellect away from the OET, objects of emotions and thoughts, objects of world outside, emotions and thoughts in the Gurudev's BMI chart, OET, is turning his entire attention from the OET to the divine by his own sincere effort, self-effort, keeping tremendous faith on the scriptures and the Guru Vachana, that Guru words, that there is something beyond all this, the supreme consciousness, which is the nature of myself as per Shastras and Guru Vachanam or Guru's words. So, depending on the faith on those statements, I am trying my best to turn away my attention from the OET to the inner plane. There is a self-effort involved in this. Once that self-effort is crossed, then as I become subtler and subtler, and by the divine intervention, I get Buddhi Yoga, and through that first partial revelation takes place. Thereafterwards, turning towards divine is no more an effort. It becomes natural and spontaneous. I just want to be in that state. So I automatically give up the entire world in pursuit of that bliss which I have gained. No doubt that is gained through a chocolate wrapper, like through a wheel, but that is enough for me to inspire permanently, to understand, to cross that even net also, the ego layer, and drown myself in that supreme bliss. So that once I get that, nothing is greater than me. Automatically the entire world is dropped from the mind. I want that and that and that alone. This kind of complete shift takes place. Which takes place only after we get the partial revelation of the truth. So the journey up to that point through Savikalpa, effort, then we enter into that zone and partial revelation. Up to that journey is based on faith, on Shastras and Guru. Once I go there, once I get partial revelation, thereafter the sadhana becomes beautiful. Therefore, the Atman is not created. That light of knowledge, because it is given Bhagavan what he said? Nashayami, I will destroy. I will destroy your ignorance by lighting up the lamp of knowledge. Because that lamp, the divine lamp, that knowledge in which I can see that entire thing is mithya and I get transported to the divine bliss, that lamp of knowledge is always lit by Paramatma out of his compassion. But our efforts are required in the beginning. But later on, we cross an effort into effortless zone. Just as an iron filling or an iron piece, in order to reach the magnetic field, up to magnetic field, it has to put efforts. Once it reaches the magnetic field, thereafter, magnet pulls inside. Nothing has to be done by the iron piece. The magnet pulls. So, that is how Bhagavan Krishna said, I will take care of it. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji gives very poetic description in his Bhashya, what is about lamp and all that. I'll just read, I'll convey what to think. So, nature of discrimination is its Swarupa, that is the Atma Swarupa, the pure light of knowledge. That oil is Bhakti, Bhavana is breeze, Vicks are Brahmacharya and Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannam. Vicks, oil is Bhakti oil, Bhavana, right kind of temperament and attitude is a beautiful breeze which is required. Even that absolute in vacuum, the lamp cannot glow. And lamp is the diya, that is dispassion. So in the dispassion lamp, put oil of bhakti, and Vic is Brahmachantanam, Brahmacharya and Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannam. And Nitya Pravritta Ekagrata is flame. Nitya Pravritta Ekagrata is flame. Yatha Nivadasto Deepaha Na Ingate Sa Upamaspurtam. So that flickerless flame, that is meditation. Nivatastaha, the absence of heavy winds and breeze. Oxygen is required. But the lamp is steady, still, turned up. It's not flickering here and there. Like that, all our energies, mind and intellect, everything is focused. Extremely purified. Therefore, no disturbance. No temptations, no analysis of unnecessary things. Total surrender, having faith in the Guru. And see what happens. Now Arjuna asks from 12th to almost up to 18 verses, I think. Up to 18th, Arjuna only speaks. Questions. He asks questions. Up to 18, yes. 6 slokas, he has questions. He gives a prelude to his question. He praises the Lord, extols the Lord, and then he puts his own question before Paramatma. That I wanted to know. I wanted to see what are your divine vibhutis. Divya hyatma vibhutayah. If you feel I am fit enough, kindly show me this, your vibhutis, the glories. Where all I can see you. Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu. Where is your presence is conspicuously seen and noticed. So that having seen them all, my mind is turned towards you. And it will never get turned towards outer world. And I remember not the objects of the world outside as other than me. When I see such kind of glories in such special places and things and beings, where my mind will be lifted up in the divine contemplation, because when I see them, I remember you, the glory of you. Though by seeing your glories, I remember you. So please tell me where all I can find you in this manifested world, in this manifested creation, for you are all manifested from you alone. So these questions he asks, but he gives a prelude to it. Arjuna vacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Arjuna Vacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Vibhum. He says what? You are Param Brahma, Supreme Brahman you are. Param Brahma and Param Dhama, Supreme Abode, and Pavitram, Purifier, Pavitram and Paramam Pavitram, Bhavan, you are the Supreme Brahman, Supreme Abode, and Supreme Purifier. Supreme Purifier, he purifies everything. Such a washing powder, washing powder. No trace is left, no trace of vasana is left. Such a purifier you are. And you are Divyam, Purusham. You are great being. Purnatvad Purusha, the primordial being. And your eternal Purusha, divine Purusha, Shashvatam. You are eternal. Divyam, very, very extremely divine. Divyam Purusham, Shashvatam, Adidevam, the gods of the God of all the gods. The first God, the God of all gods. Ajam, birthless, Vibhum, omnipresent, you are. So he is glorifying the Lord. Then he continues in next verse. Ahustvam rushayas sarve devarshirnaradhastata asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva pravishime. Ahustvam rushayas sarve devarshirnaradhastata asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva pravishime. Ahuhu Tvam, and all the Rishis have declared about you. Not only me. The great Maharshis have said about you. Ahuhu Tvam. What did they say about you? Rishayas Sarve, all the Rishis. Who are they? Devarshi Naradaha. See? Devarshi Narada. Narada sang your glory. In fact, Narada always singing his glories only. Devarshi Narada. And also Tatha Asitaha and Asita Devala Muni. Asita Devala and Asita and Devala are disciples of Vyasa Bhagavan. Asita's name Gurudev says, mentioned commentary, only once it comes in one Purana. That is in Lalita Vistara. And Devala, Asita is Lalita Vistar mein ek hi baar unka naam aata hai. Devala is the son of Vishwamitra. Devala is son of Vishwamitra. Devala Rishi. These people glorify. It's like this. For example, I feel my guru of the Pahalwan Guru, who taught me this weightlifting, etc., etc. My master, he is a heavyweight champion. He taught me everything. I glorify him. But I found my master teacher, he himself is glorifying some other heavyweight champion whom I have never seen. So that means my guru, whom I adore, is worshipping someone as greater than him, greater than my guru himself. Then what will be my attitude toward that person? Similarly, I myself worship all the rishis. We adore and respect Rishis. Narada Maharshi, Asita, Devala, Vyasa Bhagavan. Vyasa का भी नाम आ गया. Vyasa Bhagavan. Veda Vyasa Maharshi, who has divided the Vedas into 4 parts. Author of Puranas, author of Mahabharata, author of Brahma Sutras. Vyasa Bhagavan, because we say Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, such a divine being. And all of them have declared your glories. So they have declared you as what? They all have declared you as what? You are a Param Brahma. Oh, you are supreme ruler. You are supreme abode verses. You are supreme purifier. You are the supreme divine being. You are eternal. And you are the God of gods. And you are birthless. You are omnipresent. Thus, who sang about you? The great Rishis, Narada Maharshi. Then Asita Devala Muni, Asita Devalaha, Vyasa Bhagavan, and you yourself say to me, you yourself right now in the previous couple of chapters, you have declared yourself that you are that, because I am the father of the entire universe. Pita aham, thata aham. That you yourself said about yourself to me, that you are the origin of everything. Where did you tell me? In Bhagavad Gita only, in earlier chapters, couple of places, he declared about himself. So you yourself have told me all this. So what I want now, what I want is that Bravishime. So therefore, what I want from you. But you are such a being. So what do you want to tell about Arjuna? What do you want to talk about this now? He says, Sarvametadrutam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidurdevana danavaha sarvametadrutam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidurdevana danavaha sarvam etadrutam manye. And I believe all this to be true. It's a fact. And I don't have any doubt in this. You told Rishis also praise you. Therefore, without any doubt, I am saying you that, my dear Bhagavan, I believe all this. Whatever you say to me, I believe. Sarvam ekadrutam manye yat mam vadasi keshava. So, all that whatever you say to me, I believe it as true. Yat mam vadasi, whatever you speak to me or whatever you said to me, all that is true. And I totally trust you, totally believe you. So thus, Arjuna laid a firm step for progress. What is that? I have total trust in you, O my Bhagavan or Guru. I totally believe you. I may not know you fully, but my gurus have told me, Rishis have sung your glories. Therefore, I don't have any doubt, and I totally believe you. Yat mam vadasi keshava. Nahite bhagavan vyaktim viduhu devaha na danavaha. Hey Bhagavan, vyakti means manifestation. Vyakti, avyakta, avyakta. Vyakti means manifested, Jagat. And your manifestation in the creation fully your identity in this creation fully your manifested Jagat in this manifested universe creation. Nobody can know fully your manifested Jagat, you where you are. What is all this? Therefore, no one knows you. Who are? Neither devatas know you, your manifestation, and the glory of your manifestation, nor Danavas know you, your glory of manifestation. So Arjuna here expressing what? Unfluttering devotion, faith in Bhagavan Krishna. Unshakable faith in Krishna. That I never doubt you, Krishna, because I'm not seeing you as 6-footer or 6.5-footer or whatever, 5.5-footer height. No. Physically, you are a small being like him. And he will show you Vishwarupa in second chapter, in the coming chapter. But I trust your word that you are all pervading consciousness. From you alone, all this has come. Earlier, I had doubt. The little bit I wanted clarification. When you said that I taught this imperishable yoga to Lord Sun, and then Manave Praha, Vivaswan Manave Praha, Manu Rikshvakve Pravit, all this Parampara Praptam, Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu, Sakale Nehamata, Yogo Nashta Parantapa. When you said that I taught this imperishable yoga to Lord Sun, there I got a little, not doubt, but how did it happen? How am I to understand this? We are born later on recently on earth. But sun is all been existing since billions of years. How can you say that I taught sun, the sun god, the presiding deity over the sun? But having heard you throughout all this chapters so far teachings on Bhagavad Gita, I have no doubt that you are Paramatma, the infinite. That is very essential. Total surrender to Guru, and total surrender to Guru, total faith in scriptures and Bhagavan, that is the criteria for spiritual progress. See, unfaltering faith in Bhagavan by Arjuna. So Devatas and Danavas don't know you. Devatas also are caught up in their own thoughts. They are in Bhogalalas. Unless they give up all this Bhoga, so that's why Devatas ke liye Dhamma sadhana is required. Self-control, sense control. Because they can enjoy happily enjoying eating, dancing, marrying, all kinds of joy. They're just marrying, constantly enjoying. But that also Dvaitam only. So they also can't understand. Devatas also can't understand. They may be superior to human beings, but they are not capable of recognizing the divine. And Rakshasas, of course, they are all negative qualities, vengeance and greed, and then so they're clouded by negative qualities. And Devatas are completely filled with pride, etc., and lost in their own enjoyments. Both of them are unable to recognize me. And Puja Gurudev, so interestingly, he gives another beautiful Vyakhyan, very important, that neither the good in us to acquire, to investigate, and to know, neither the good in us can embrace the truth, nor can the bad in us challenge and bring up the truth as an opposing force right in front of us. Neither the good in us can embrace the truth, nor bad in us can know the truth. Both cannot meet the truth. Why? Gurudev says there are only two methods of meeting another being or thing, either as a friend or as a foe, either as something that we like or as something that we abhor. Confrontation. I don't like my enemy. I want to meet him and finish him off. Thus, with that negativity, I go and meet him. Or I love my person, I want to meet, so I go there. So I can meet a thing, or either I am towards it or away from it. Meaning, I go towards the object to throw, negative object. Negative person to fight and finish him off. Enemy. In either way, we can come to apprehend the individuality, the total personality of the self, it being the subject, both in its expression as an individual and in its expansion as the cosmic, that is Vibhuti. So both as yoga and vibhuti, I cannot know. I cannot approach with these two attitudes of being good or meeting through bad, confronting. Because I am the very subject of the both. I am the one who is illumining these two, good and bad in me. So I cannot reach. I cannot know the truth. Then who can know you? Who can really know you in full, in totality? You yourself know yourself. None of us can know. K and what will objectively inverted commas. None of us can know Paramatma. What he says? Swayamevatmanatmanam vettatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha devadeva jagatpate. Therefore, devatas cannot know you. Danavas, the negative fellows, cannot know you. Then who knows you? Is it impossible for to know? No, yes, there is somebody who knows you. That is you alone. Therefore, you yourself know your swayameva atmana atmanam vetha. You yourself know by yourself, meaning you know yourself. Full stop. Hey Purushottama, oh best among the Purushas, Supreme Purusha, Purushottama, hey Bhuta Bhavana, source of all beings. Hey Bhutesha, Lord of all beings, source of all beings. I am the source, creator. You see one thing, many things we create, but we have no control over our own creation. Oh, you only trained that person, but you have no control over him. You have only trained the dog, but afterward dog becomes independent. It cannot be under your control. It behaves in its own way. So I create many things, but I don't have control over my creation. That's the tragedy of human being. I create robot and I cannot. Recently, I read the robot killed someone by mistaken. It did not understand the command properly, so it killed the person. And last 2 days back, I was reading in a newspaper, in a news, that one robot is misbehaving somewhere, some other country. Misbehaving. Robot is misbehaving with another lady. So our creation, we don't have. But then Bhagavan is not like that. He is the source of all beings, but also Lord of all beings. Ye Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, and Devadeva, God of all gods. The gods may be mighty, but who gave the God the power to be God? The power over wind, the power over fire, etc., power over water, power over everything. Who gave these gods, mighty God, various gods? Their powers are given. Powers are given by the employer. The one who employs me in an office, he made me general manager. And some powers of Upadhi, general manager Upadhi. Because of that, I got some power. Who gave? The Paramatma gave the powers to all the gods. So obviously, he is the God of gods. Jagatpate, ruler of the world, he is ruling. He is ruling. He commanded. So there shall be the sun, in like some other scripture. There he is, there that means commanded. So you yourself know yourself. Objectively, nobody can know you. I remaining as separate from you, I cannot know you as an object other than me. Impossible. Think. I can become you, but I cannot know you. Become means what? I go and merge. My ego is dropped, dissolved in your consciousness. Like a salt doll example, Salt doll can never know its source, the ocean. Salt doll, ocean is so big, salt is doll small. What it is seeing, sitting on the ocean, shore of the ocean, and seeing the ocean is only small, infinitesimal part of the infinite ocean. Or a huge ocean. Your Bay of Bengal, salt doll is staying there in Visakhapatnam beach. That also you cannot see completely. Small portion you are seeing. So you cannot know the entire ocean objectively. So in order to investigate the knowing, what is the knowing, then that salt doll goes and merges and becomes ocean. Then it is called knowing. Then only it is called knowing. Think. So nobody can know you, my dear sir, Bhagavan. You yourself know yourself. What is your expanse? Who? The I, the Brahman, the infinity. You yourself, you know yourself. Anyone else other than you can never know. Keeping the separate identity can never know you. So glories I can know, some of them in the manifested world. That's what he's asking now. Therefore, after this little glory, glorifying the Lord, the greatness of the Lord, Arjuna now is expressing his question, his query, his quest, his desire. What is that? Demand. What is that? Vaktumarhasya sheshena दिव्याख्यात्म विभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां स्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्याख्यात्म विभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां स्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि. Ye Paramatma, Vaktum Arhasi. Vaktum means to tell. Arhasi, you should. You are now, you must. Vaktum Arhasi, you must tell me. What? Atma Vibhutaya Divya Aseshena. Your limitless, endless glories of your own self. Atma Vibhutaya. आपकी अपनी जितनी भी अनंत विभूतियां हैं, उन अनंत विभूतियों के बारे में मुझे समझाना है, बताना है. हाँ, आत्म विभूतया दिव्या, डिवाइन आत्मा, दिव्य विभूतियां हैं. All those things, your glories, you should please tell me. Haseshena means what? Without any balance, without any reserve. Don't hide anything. Just tell me everything about your glories. Now I just think about it. You will think. Arjuna is a human being. So whatever human mind can conceive in the manifested Jagat, small portion of the infinite world. We can only small portion we are able to see. We don't know the glories of neighboring universe. Forget about this universe also we don't know. How can we talk about neighboring universe? Or such universes are plenty. We don't know what are all the glories, what are all the expansiveness of this entire creation. We don't know anything. So even though he says infinite you are, so infinite glories are there. You please tell me without any reserve, without any hiding, without any keeping any balance, holding any secrets completely. Even though First of all, if Bhagavan wanted to tell infinite glories, infinite time is required. Number one. Number two, even though if he highlights certain glories which he himself has never thought of, no name, no nothing, no object has seen, no reference point, so it is beyond his cognition. How can he understand that vibhuti? This vast expanse of space, there are many vibhutis are there which we don't know. Many glories are there. So, within a small patch in space, where our universe existed, and that too is huge, it is billions of galaxies are there. That also we cannot see. In our galaxy, that also is huge, because billions of stars are there. Again, our solar system. And maybe perhaps a little bit of glories, vibhutis in creation. And certain creations, vibhutis in subtler level, I heard only through scriptures and Puranas, etc. I cannot see it. But I can comprehend. Some of them I can see on earth. So, even though I said, you please tell me Aseshena, all your infinite glories, but Bhagavan Krishna cannot speak anything because even the visible world may glories jo bhi hai, that itself is huge in number. Visible world, glories are plenty. Even जो देख सकते हैं या दिखाने पर जो देख सकते हैं, समझ में आ जाएगी, ऐसी विभूतियां भी, इनकी संख्या भी अगणन है, कि गणना नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो फिर क्या करें? बस whatever you can understand, a little some of them Bhagavan Krishna enumerates. But demand is such. Always our demand is what? To know in total everything. But our demands cannot be fulfilled because of the very limitations of the instrument, that is intellect and mind. But question is asked. You please tell me, Yabhihi Vibhutibhi Lokan Imam Stam, by those glories by which you have pervaded the entire Jagat. All such glories by which you have pervaded the entire manifested Jagat. Yabhihi Vibhutibhi Lokan Iman, all these worlds you pervade. Tishtasi, Vyapya Tishtasi. So you exist pervading all these worlds. Those glories I wanted to know. Greatness. And then the more we know the glories of Paramatma, more we get tuned. More we fall and we rise in love. Fall in love, rise in love. Our hearts rise up in great reverence and devotion to the Lord. Everything becomes a wonder. Everything becomes a ashcharya. So, Bhagavan says, Arjuna says, Katam vidyamaham yogin tvam sadha parichintayan keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. Katam vidyamaham yogin tvam sada parichintayan keshu cha bhaveshu Chintyosi Bhagavan Maya. Katam Vidyamaham Yogin. O Yogin, how shall I know you? Sada Parichintayan. By constantly meditating you upon you, how will I ever come to know you? How shall I know you? How? By constantly chintan, thinking about you, meditating upon you, contemplating upon you. How will I ever come to know you? So that you must show me the spots of contemplation. O Yogin, Sada Parichintayan, Katam Vidyamaham. Vidyamaham. Keshu Bhaveshu Chintyosi Bhagavantaya. And in what aspects or forms? Keshu, in whatever forms or aspects, I must meditate. And Chintyosi Bhagavanmaya. So, in what are all objects and forms, I should be able to think about you, on you. So are you to be thought of by me? How can I think about you? So in what forms I should think about you? Oh, this is form of Krishna, this is form of the Lord, this is form of the Lord. Very conspicuously seen. That also I must be able to recognize that it is Vibhuti. So where all I can see, which all objects I can see you as your glory and contemplate upon it. Please tell me, enumerate them to me, enumerate them. Enumerate them. Everything is your pervaded, but only certain spots I see, I recognize you as supreme being. Where should I meditate? Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah khataya traptirhi shrunvato nasti me mrutam vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah khataya traptirhi shrunvato nasti me mrutam atmanaha yogam विभूतिम च ये जनार्दन विस्तरेण भूयः कथय. O Janardana, O Lord, your yogi, your yoga and vibhuti sthiti. Yogam cha, vibhutim cha. You are both the state of yoga, power, and the glory. Yoga is unmanifest, vibhutis are manifested, seen. Both I wanted to know. Yoga sthiti, vibhuti sthiti, vistarena. Vistarena means, not in a brief, in an exhaustive way. Vistarena, in detail, complete, exhaustively. आपका जो योग, आत्मन विभूतम योगम च kathayah. Please tell, who yah kathaya. Again you tell me, because some of the glories you already told me in 7th chapter. I am the Prabha in the what do you call, luminosity in the sun. I am Pranava Sarva, I am the Omkara in all Vedas. I am Sapidity in water. All that you already told me, but I want in detail more. Because why? Truptihi srunato nasti me amrutam. This nectars, the contentment is not there. There is no contentment in me, because you are nectar-like speech, Suranvataha amrutam. Your speech is like a nectar and glorifying the entire, the stressing upon the entire manifested world. And your own glories, you are talking about it. So there is no contentment for me. Trupti mil nahi rahi hai. I am not fully satisfied. So again and again tell me, Vistarena, in detail. I wanted to know, I want to hear more from you, your glories. So don't concise it. Don't say in brief. Think. Vibhuti. So bhuti is worldly prosperity. Vibhuti means what? Specific expression of manifested world. Vibhuti, specific expression. What is that? Please tell me. I would like to, so that I can contemplate upon you in all these names and forms, which I can understand. Many glories are which I cannot see, which I can understand. I don't even know. Like can a dog know your glory that you are a PhD? Can never understand. Similarly, there are many things which we can understand, even though, but then that is enough for us to lift our mind. This open the manifested Jagat, contemplating on Lord, wherever Bhagavan Krishna is going to enumerate. That's enough for us to lift our mind up, to tune to the totality, and to remind ourselves always of the Supreme Lord. So more about it, we shall start, and Bhagavan answers from 19th verse, which we will take up in next class. Thank you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Arihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Arihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you everybody for joining today, and those who are attending our Geeta study class, the study group class, please join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp, every Sunday. And those who are in Noida and around can also join at the ashram. And please do join at the ashram. Thank you so much. Hari Om. Bhavana beta, please close the session.
Yes, Preeti.